Here's part 2 of our Holly Hart Children's Museum tour. By the way, it is the only one of its kind in our country.
We really now are more focused on compressions only versus really thinking about breaths compressions. So that's something that I've worked on for the last couple of years. So we just received our new guideline information, so we're working on that right now with the design team. So we will have the adult chain of survival information here. Yep. So then the 911 action theater, we really...
No, did you do a unit on it? Or?
Yes.
Or yeah, 16 p.m. So you have studied her?
Actually, without fear if they possibly can, and so that's what the 911 theater is about, is that they can be a hero. And so our own Carrie Yatkowski was very instrumental in making this exhibit possible. So if everybody wants to see it. It's nice.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yeah. And again, you'll notice throughout the entire museum that it's really been key that kids are everywhere, because we really want this to be a peer-to-peer, why it's so important. So this is really great in here because, again, we talk to the kids about the chain of survival, but the most important role that they play in the chain of survival is calling 911. We also talk to them about some very realistic things about cell phones and landlines. If you have a landline, 911 will know your address. If you have a cell phone, you're going to have to tell them your address. So really key that kids know their address, or at least can know where they are. Of course, if there's adults around and they notice that, they need to yell for the adult, but that whole 911 is what's really, really important. And so we hired some great little actors. Oh, there we go.
Hi, I'm Sarah. I have something important to tell you. Something that could save a life.
We don't have time to watch the whole
and you
thing,
need to be
but
prepared and know what to do.
she'll
How
tell
to
the
get
kids
help
what
fast.
the signs are. She'll kind of demonstrate
Every day,
them.
a lot of people have heart attacks. Sometimes, people die. You can change that. First off, you have to take care of yourself. You need to eat healthy. Surprisingly, I really love fruits and vegetables. Strawberries and carrots are my favorites. And don't smoke. Cigarettes have all sorts of chemicals that will give you cancer and slow down your blood flow. That's not good. You need to exercise and you need to be happy. Being happy is important. But just as important as taking care of yourself is making sure you can help others if they're having an emergency. There are just 3 things you need to know when you see someone in pain. Repeat them in your head so you are sure to remember. Okay, you ready? Number 1, stay calm. Number 2, call 911. Number 3, tell them your name, your address of where you are, and then wait for their instructions. I really want you to remember this, so repeat after me, okay? Number 1, stay calm. Number 2, call 911. Number 3, tell them your name, your address of where you are, and then wait for their instructions.
And again, I know we need to
It's
get going.
important to be
Come
able to
back and watch
recognize
if
the
you guys
signs of
can.
pain.
She goes through and actually
Most common warning signs of heart attack are
Our
discomfort in the chest, arms, back, or neck,
actually is
along with nausea or feeling sick to your stomach.
Or, Robin, you can even keep it going. And so the other thing that we talked about in the 911 exhibit is the AED, the defibrillation, and so that the paramedics, when they come, they will show up those. We actually demonstrated the AED and how that's used. Our Have a Heart for Babies, again, we're just finalizing all of the different parts of the chain for a baby because it is different than for an adult. So. And then there will be an interactive. They actually will be able to press, so they can learn with 2 fingers how deep to press on the baby's chest. Stroke, we're updating the software on the stroke, but we talk to the kids about what a stroke is and the signs of a stroke, and then we do have an interactive here. This we love because it's our own heart ball. The Goldman Legacy Theater, Goldman did give us the lead gift on this, and then these are all past heart ball chairmen, and of course there's plenty of room as we continue to proceed through the years. This, I don't know if there's somebody in here, let's see.
Let's talk just real quick about what's in the kitchen.
Together. We talk to them about fat and good fat, bad fat. We actually have a huge thing of fat in there so they can see a 5 pound. So, you know, if you're 5 pounds overweight, oops, because it's really bad. So, and the activity that the kids learn about, or what they do in the kitchen, is they each, as a team, get a lunchbox, and they have to fill that lunchbox with an entree, 2 sides, and a beverage. And so we talk about, you know, chicken versus fried chicken, or you know, sorbet versus ice cream, and you know, so we talk about some of those types of things. We also talk about, again, the food pyramid. We're talking about reading labels, the marketplace as well. So these two really, in many respects, go together. The marketplace is how you shop for food. We really talk about doing things as families. We know a lot of these kids don't live with a traditional family, so that they need to empower themselves to help make these choices and talk to whomever they are living with, make those choices. But in the kitchen or in the marketplace, again, we talk to them about the food. We talk to them about, you know, again, there's doing in the marketplace in teams, then after they've learned how to read labels, they have to put together one meal. And we'll talk to them about the opportunity that day, which is about 20 meals. And so they have to shop for a meal in the marketplace. So they get their little, you know, container, they put 6 items in, and then they scan their choices, and it will be interactive with actually Aunt Ireland's son, who will come on and say, good choice, and it's never negative. So if they go over 20, it's, oh, you know what, you might want to try again. And then the heart guys have the opportunity to talk to them about what they chose that tipped them over the scale, you know, why they go over the 20 grams. Granted, if they're doing all fruits and vegetables and they have 2 grams of fat, we're talking to them about the fact that they need healthy fat. You don't want too little fat, because then you're really not eating a balanced meal. We also talk to them about the fact that, okay, so you can take fat out of your diet, but if you're eating a lot of sugar, that will translate eventually to stored fat. It will turn into fat in your body. So that's not healthy either. So we're really talking to them about health as a whole, and how what they do to be healthy impacts their life, heart, and everything else. So kitchen, again, is kind of just a, whether they go there or here first, it's all about those food choices and working as a family and cooking as a family, and how eating out is fine. Just when you eat out, you don't know what all the hidden calories and fat. And sodium is another huge thing that we're talking about. We know now that salt sodium, which is in every processed food we eat, is the one reason that Americans don't have ideal health, or the key reason they don't have ideal health. So
this is fantastic, and we obviously
and you
need
gotta
2
go.
hours, but I think we need to take our committee back.
You need to go. I know you do.
So, and that's what I was saying.
This will take so long. And then the beat, and then come back and look at the beat, because that's our whole physical activity that the Phoenix Suns did, and that's a fabulous exhibit of